Trends come and go. Actually, most of the time when we say trends, we mean fads, but I think you get the point. Some of us hate the idea of trends. What with people all clamoring to wear the same thing, and then when you finally decide to take part in said trend, it's too late and people say something to the effect of, man, you still on that? Or quite simply, you late. But alas, you need trends, laddie, because it's the nature of humanity to be like everyone else for the sake of familiarity. I think I said that right, especially in fashion. But if you're immune to the charms of trends, how can you use them to your benefit? Well, I'm your boy Reggie Casual, and I got you. Here are 7 reasons why trends are absolutely necessary. Trends just introduce you to more, or they reintroduce things that were once lost to time, or they can provide a new generation with an updated look. The thing about trends is that 90% of the time, that's anecdotal, but I digress, 90% of the time they were already around. When someone says that new wave is workwear or like it's fleece, the very first thing that you should know is that well, they already existed. But the difference is that now those looks have been elevated to style status and are no longer just Rego clothes, which means that if you've been doing something that is a trend now, as a part of your everyday life, then you're now on trend. Congratulations. And really the power of that is that trends have an uncanny ability to give you different perspectives. While trends or fads tend to get played out after a while, the real challenge is to use a trend to fit into your very own style. Maybe you hadn't considered a fabric, a piece, or a silhouette before, but now that it's in vogue, you can see if it fits into what you do. Because following the trend is easy, but integrating a trend is where it gets fun. That's why you need them. If a certain style or piece is in, a designer has an opportunity to do it their way. This is not so cool when looking at base brands because they tend to do the same thing, but for designer brands, it often has amazing results. Take for instance, fleece. It has been one of the true trends to come back nearly every fall winter season, but when a brand like Undercover does a fleece jacket in a collaboration with Helly Hansen, it's far more likely to give you a different perspective, which leads to better integration for people with Undercover style in mind. Another great benefit to knowing trends is that you can start forecasting what's next, or just forecasting. And while this seems like it's more for the business types out there, even enthusiasts can use this to their advantage by being ahead of the curve. Now, if you are a business person, you can use trend forecasting to outmaneuver your competition and start the trend before it hits full swing. But if you're an enthusiast, it means you can start the integration process before people even know said trend is a thing. Basically, knowing trends means you can be a leader, not a follower. And if you're serious, you can make it into a lucrative thing. Because no matter how many people say they hate trends, knowing the trends is still big business. And even a fashion enthusiast, especially today, can make money by simply knowing what's next. What if you know a certain trend is coming and you decide to make something nobody knows is on the upswing? You become the go-to person for that thing, not just in fashion either. By being a leader and not a follower of trends, your value essentially increases to those in the fashion sphere of influence. So in that way, trends are great. And as a result of knowing how to forecast and becoming a leader, why? You'll be able to freely craft your own styles because you'll be familiar with what we like to call fashion trajectory. Basically, it means that if you know skinny jeans are coming in, eventually wide pants will come in. If normcore and grunge are in, eventually workwear will come in. Because you have this info beforehand, you'll have a bevy of ideas to pull from, giving you even more ideas to inform your style, brand, or anything really. And finally, you'll be able to track what will become staples, or what some people like to call essentials. For example, distressed jeans became so popular that they have become staples. They're literally everywhere and should be treated as basic. Same with dad hats and even Jordan 1s for that matter. Knowing staples means you'll understand what's generally aesthetically pleasing and acceptable to most people, so when you do try to do something different, you can ease it in rather than just going full tilt. It sounds crazy, but people like progression, a slow, steady progression rather than immediate change. And you can use this to your advantage when trying to do something radically different, but you still want to keep the basis of your style, just ease it in. And that's why trends can be great. But of course, if you follow trends and keep switching it up every time something becomes the style du jour, you're likely to kill any identity you have, as even you won't be able to pin down what your style is. So be wary of just doing trends. It's probably best to learn from them first. But let us know what you think. How do you feel about trends? Let it be known in the comments. Give a thumbs up if you like the video. Follow on Instagram for the latest out of Japan and beyond. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international street fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I'll see you guys in a minute.